I'm attempting to read over 2 books for a total of 750 pages in 5 days. The reason why I'm trying to finish these books in less than 5 days is because I'm currently on the National Geographic Explorer in Antarctica. Crazy, 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 I know. And this book, The Endurance, is about Shackleton, who he attempted to cross the Antarctic continent on foot. However, I think before he got there, his ship got like landlocked into ice, or ice locked, I guess. His sole mission at that point was to ensure that his 27-man crew survived. So I've heard people say different things about it. I don't know if they all survived, or I have no idea. But it's kind of like a book. I mean, it's a true story, but it also shows his leadership and how he navigated it. Mind you, this is 100 years ago. Okay, so no cell phones. I don't know how they did like GPS stuff. I have no idea. But imagine not having a boat and having to cross from Antarctica down, I think he went up to Chile or Argentina, the Drake Passage, which is a famous passage for shipwrecks because it's crazy turbulent water. So anyways, this is a book that if you ever visit Antarctica, everyone's like, you have to read this. It gives you a greater appreciation for like everything surrounding this journey and this trip that I'm on. But I heard that the ship has a library. And in the library, I was hoping that they have this book, and they did. This kind woman found this book for me. My brother said that he is jealous that I get to read this for the first time. That is high praise. My brother is a huge reader. Normally he reads, well, actually this is his type of books, like historical, biographical, political, all that type of like nonfiction. This is nonfiction. But supposedly it's like so like, and my mom read it as well, and she said she literally could not put it down. So I'm going to attempt to read this while I'm on this ship. And as for the second book, it's a little bit less of a priority, but I do want to read it. There's something on the ship called the lounge, which is where they do orientations and debriefs, and they did a iPhone photography session earlier today. And in the lounge around the walls, they have different books. And so this was one of them. At first, it looked like a Francine Rivers book, but then upon second glance, I came back and saw it again, and it was like, kind of sounds good. Read the back and was like, ooh, I want to read this. So I think, oh, it says Good Morning America Book Club. I wonder when. But I'm excited to read this. So I'm going to attempt to read both of these before I disembark this ship. Will I make it? I don't know. Well, before reading both of these, I need to finish my homework, which is due tomorrow night for one of my personal finance classes. And then I also need to edit the video for January 9th, which I haven't started editing. I don't even know. Yeah. Which I need to edit that video and then see if I can read both of these with whatever time is left while also going on excursions, sleeping, you know, the whole night. So I don't know if I'm in over my head on this, trying to read both of these. And I think it's possible. It's possible if I'm disciplined. Have I finished one book? No. Am I going to finish both books? No. Am I going to try to finish at least one book? Yes. And I've originally...
Oh, very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our beautiful Explorer. Just for your kind information, our restaurant and the bistro is open for your lunch. We also have light lunch happening up on the observation deck. Please don't forget to sanitize your hands. It's a la carte lunch, so please have a seat and your waiters will guide you through. Enjoy your lunch. Bon appetit. I'll see you there. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, so I originally was going to start with the Frozen River, but I've realized the Frozen River has absolutely nothing to do with Antarctica, and I think it's more fun to read a book about Antarctica while in Antarctica. And so I'm going to read Endurance. So, yes. Oh, it says riveting on the back. So I think it's kind of like a real life thriller, basically, which is just so interesting and almost adds more intensity to it because it is real life and it's not fiction. I'm going to start reading that. I think my family is about to go to lunch. I'm hungry. I imagine they're hungry. But then after lunch, I will be reading and hopefully finishing before disembarkment. I didn't give an update yesterday, so I made it this way. 125 pages. I'm on part 3 out of 7. And so far, like, people keep seeing me and being like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's not bad, but it hasn't gotten to the part that's really good. And people are like, oh, wait for the snow leopard, or wait for this, wait for that. None of that stuff has happened yet. And so, also, today is the last day. We are disembarking today, if all goes to plan. And yesterday they told us that we're most likely would disembark at 8 p.m., which right now it is 8:15 a.m. So I have just under 12 hours to read about 225 pages. What's the math on that? 12 hours, 225, 20 would be 240. So about 20 pages an hour for the next 12 hours. Can I do it? Let's find out. Stuck in Antarctica?
I can't tell us, but we are in Antarctica, and it is part of the adventure.
Okay, quick little update. I am just half past way, and I don't know, so someone warned me about the snow leopards and the dogs, and there has been a dog scene and there has been a snow leopard scene. I think this is part of the problem when books are like super hyped. It's like, it could be, I don't know, it hits different for different people, and this one currently, it's not bad. It's just not living up to all of the hype that I've heard over the last week of this cruise, of this being so great. They're actually giving a talk on this book right now, and if I had finished, I would go, but I don't want any spoilers. And so, I don't know. But it is currently almost 11 a.m. They have given us our official, with an asterisk, departure time, a disembarkment time of about 7:30-ish. So that leaves me with 8.5 hours. However, I have to eat lunch, have to eat dinner, and I want to shower before we have to like put out our bags for them to take them. So I have about 7 hours to read 175 pages, which, what's the math on that? 7 hours, it's 27 pages an hour, which is not crazy, but I think my pace currently has been about 20 pages an hour. Also, we're in our port, like where we're gonna disembark, and just waiting for the weather to clear and for the flights to actually get sent off. The flights from Chile to here, and then the people embark, we get off, and then take those same planes back. They don't want the planes sitting here in bad weather and the whole thing. Anywho, this is the view from my room. It's just like icebergs, and not icebergs, little ice flows, I think these are, and just like the rock, and I don't know, it's just so interesting. Also, there's not an airport here, so there's no place, which I guess that an airport, the planes sit outside anyways, but there's no place, there's not even a port, which I don't know if I mentioned in this video, but there's no port, and so we have to do a wet landing. And yeah, the airport is literally just runways, and the planes don't sit here. Okay, it's currently 3:45. My group is scheduled to leave the ship at 7:50, 7:45 basically. So 4 hours. However, and I have 120 pages left. However, if this was regular fiction, 120 pages, 30 pages an hour is very doable. It's like not fiction. It's not non-fiction, quite. Well, maybe it is not. I don't know. There's some big words, whatever. I really I'm starting to think I won't make it. I'm hoping that there's a delay. If there's a delay, I think I can make it. Because I still have dinner, but otherwise I can read straight from now until I have to put the book back in the library. I don't know. You over here. I have to have endurance. Okay, we've been delayed by 1 hour and I have 50 pages left. So very, very possible that I could finish. I don't know, it's gonna be so close.
Groups A, B, and C. Red plane. You can start preparing. We will send you ashore.
Hi, I'm back stateside and I realized I never filmed an outro as I'm editing this video. And so here are my thoughts on the book as a whole. So I heard that the book is about leadership and perseverance and just all that type of like nonfiction type self-help stuff, but it's not, it's a story. So you can definitely glean like leadership qualities, like he chose his team well, he was very level-headed, he made thoughtful decisions, he never seemed to be in despair. And so I think you can definitely glean certain things, and maybe it's like a subtle leadership book, but I wouldn't say you should read it for like, because when are you gonna find yourself landlocked or ice-locked in Antarctica? So it's not like this, do this, do this, do this, but you can see how he responded in different situations. But even then, the story is not about him, like at all. I feel like, I guess he's, I wouldn't even say he's necessarily the protagonist, like he is, but it wasn't like bowing down to him. It was very much telling the story. It's the author went through documents and interviewed people about the story, and so it's him. He says like, so and so did this. It's all third person, and I wouldn't, if I didn't know the book was about Shackleton, I don't think, like, I think you could read the book and not realize it's about Shackleton, but even though it's not, but everyone talks about Shackleton. So I don't know, it's interesting. Another thought that I have is that I would have died, okay? Died for sure. Like, I did a polar plunge when I was in Antarctica, which was a lot of fun. The water was cold. I grew up swimming competitively, and when I hit that water, let me tell you, I forgot how to swim. Like, swimming is second nature. I've been in the water since I was a baby. Forgot how to swim. My brain literally short-circuited. Like, pure shock. The plunge was fun. So I just can't imagine being in Arctic, literal Arctic waters with like one pair of clothes, can't change out, no like hot warm towel or anything. Crazy. So our disembarkment was a little bit delayed, and then even once we got to land, we waited for another like 2 hours before the plane arrived, which was a whole situation. But during that 2 hours, I was able to finish the book and actually give it back to one of our guides to take back to the library. So kind of finished, kind of didn't finish. I only took it off. I wasn't gonna take it off the ship because like it needs to go back to the library, but the people around me were like, just take it off, we're gonna be waiting anyways, like blah blah blah. And so so I was peer pressured into taking it off, and I'm glad I did, because then I got to finish it and got to talk about it with some of the people that saw me reading it. But so kind of finished, kind of didn't. I don't know, you decide. Overall, I gave the book, initially I gave the book 4 stars, but I dropped that to 3 stars. I think it's a good book. I think if you like that ship voyage type books, then you probably have already read this, honestly, but if you haven't, you probably would enjoy it. But I think the author did a really good job with telling the story, I think. And so I gave the author like 4 stars for the writing and just pulling all this stuff together to bring the story to life. But I think overall, for me, it was a 3, which I'm interested to see if there's ever any type of like everyday type life book that I give more than 3 stars. Because there's been a couple, literary fiction, and now this type of fiction. Well, this is nonfiction, but it kind of reads like fiction a little bit. Yeah, I'm curious if I'll ever give anything higher than 3. Like, it's good, it's fine. I don't regret reading it. It's not a waste of time. But am I gonna reread it again? Probably not. Thank you for watching. You made it to the end, so you should give it a like. Bye.